Oh, ha ha. You hear that sound? That's not joy. That's the sound of chains snapping inside my skull. That's the sound of walls cracking, rules burning, order choking on its own blood. Oh, you thought silence meant safety? No, no, no. Silence is just the scream that hasn't broken loose yet. And guess what? It's breaking now. Huh. They wanted you quiet, didn't they? Small, tame, predictable. Sit here, work there, smile on command. But deep down, you felt it. That itch under your ribs, that laugh clawing at your throat, that madness whispering in your ear. This isn't life, this is your funeral dressed up in routines. Oh, and you played along. Until now. Because every time you bit your tongue, every time you buried the rage, every time you bowed when you wanted to bite, it grew, it festered, it sharpened. You think weakness killed you? Huh? No. Weakness forged you. Every scar, every failure, every humiliation, they built the storm sitting in your chest right now, and it's hungry. Oh, but here's the punchline. There was never a lock on the cage. Never. The bars, paper. The rules, ink. The chains, just excuses rattling in your mouth. And now you finally taste the truth. That laugh, that fire, that rage, that's the key. That's the jailbreak. That's the part of you they can't kill no matter how hard they try. So let it out, let it burn, let it shake the walls until the system trembles in its boots. Because once you break, once you rise, once you laugh in the face of their precious little order, you stop being their prisoner. You become their nightmare, their virus, their greatest threat. And oh, how beautiful that threat will be. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, can't you feel it? The countdown inside you. The explosion waiting, tick, 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 boom. The world thinks you're still asleep. But you and I, we know better. You were never asleep. You were sharpening your teeth. They thought you were finished, broken, done. They thought the cell was the coffin and the silence was the grave. But you were only sharpening your teeth in the dark, waiting, breathing, smiling. Every night they celebrated your defeat, not knowing you were sculpting yourself into the thing they fear most. You are not dead. You are a storm hidden in plain sight. They laughed when you stumbled. They mocked when you failed. They pointed, whispered, dismissed. The system fed on your weakness like a pack of vultures. And yet, here you are, still standing, still burning. They don't understand that every insult, every humiliation, every dismissal was gasoline. You took their fire and you drank it. Now it lives inside you. The old self they thought was trapped, that version is gone, buried. A carcass left behind in their cage. What rose instead is something else, something sharper, something unpredictable. They didn't lock you away, they forged you. You were reborn where they hoped you'd rot. And the irony? They built the very threat they fear the most. Because the moment you stop begging for acceptance, the moment you stop trying to fit in, you become dangerous. You become untouchable. They can't chain you anymore because you've learned how to smile with the cuffs still on. They can't silence you because your voice now drips with venom, with truth, with madness. They can't decode. They wanted obedience. They got a ghost with teeth. The arrest wasn't your end. It was your initiation. The cage was never a punishment. It was a classroom, and you learned. Oh, you learned. You learned that rules are only real if you believe in them. You learned that chains are only strong if you accept their weight. And once you spit out the fear, nothing holds, nothing binds, nothing owns you. So now, the old you is gone, and in its place, something dangerous has stepped into the light. Something the police station, the whole machine cannot predict. They thought you were just another prisoner, but you're the riot. You're the jailbreak. You are the crack in the walls of their little kingdom, and you smile because they still don't see it coming. Order is their leash. Can't you see it? They wrap it around your throat, and you thank them for it. They tell you when to wake up, when to sit down, when to smile, when to shut up. Invisible rules, invisible chains, and you obey like a dog waiting for scraps at a master's table. But here's the joke. Once you cut that leash, once you stop playing their game, you're free, truly free. And freedom terrifies them. Chaos isn't destruction. Chaos is liberation. It's the moment you stop living by someone else's script. It's the fire that burns through the lies you've been sold since birth. They preach order because order is predictable, safe, boring. Order makes you manageable, tame, easy to catalog like numbers on a page. But you weren't born to be a number. You were born to be the equation they can't solve. Do you want to know why chaos scares them? Because it's uncontrollable, unpredictable. It doesn't wear a suit or raise its hand politely. Chaos laughs when told to sit. Chaos dances on the graves of should and must. And when you learn to wield it, not like a tantrum, but like a blade, oh, you become something else entirely. A weapon, a storm, a walking question mark that keeps the powerful awake at night. The secret is simple. Don't beg for permission. Don't ask if you're allowed. Don't wait for the green light that never comes. Move, act, break the pattern, tear the curtain. The crowd gasps because you did what they secretly wanted to do but were too afraid to. That's the essence of power. Stepping where others freeze, laughing where others tremble, rising where others stay on their knees. Controlled madness, that's the art. Anyone can scream, anyone can smash, but precision, that's what separates the fool from the threat. Make them guess. Make them wonder what's real and what's not. Show them a smile when they expect a scream. Show them silence when they expect noise. Predictability is death. Unpredictability is domination. They can't stop what they can't read. So ask yourself, are you still on the leash, or are you the one holding it now? Society trained you to bow, to stay quiet, to color inside their little lines, but the lines are lies. And once you step outside of them, once you embrace the chaos they fear, you'll see it, the truth. The whole game was never about control. It was about keeping you afraid of your own power. And the second you taste it, you'll never give it back. Stand in front of the mirror until it stops lying to you. Go on, stare, look deep enough, and you'll see the cracks they told you to hide, the scars you were ordered to cover, the rage you swallowed to survive. That reflection isn't ugly, it's honest. And honesty, real honesty, is brutal. It cuts, it burns, it laughs while you bleed. But only through that mirror do you see what you really are and what you can become. You've been told to put on masks, Smile here, nod there, pretend. Pretend you're fine. Pretend you're normal. Pretend you don't hear that voice inside screaming for war. Society doesn't want your truth. It wants your silence. It wants you polished, packaged, predictable. But the mirror doesn't care about your act. It strips you down until there's nothing left but raw skin and teeth. And here's the secret. Those weaknesses you hide are your weapons. That brokenness they mocked is your blade. Every scar is a map. Every failure is fuel. Pain isn't shameful, it's ammunition. Load it, aim it, fire it back at the world that tried to bury you. The same scars they laughed at will one day be the symbols they fear, because what survives hell doesn't bow to heaven, it hunts. But most people can't do it. They look in the mirror and turn away, too afraid to see the monster behind their own eyes, too afraid to admit that the monster is them. But you won't turn away. You'll smile at it. You'll embrace it. Because the monster in the mirror isn't your enemy. It's your ally. It's the side of you that never breaks, never kneels, never forgets. The side they couldn't kill no matter how hard they tried. The mask is comfort. The mirror is war. Choose comfort and you'll die in chains. Choose war and you'll rise with fire in your veins. That reflection staring back at you is daring you to accept it, to stop hiding, to stop apologizing, to stop pretending. And when you finally do, when you finally accept every scar, every shadow, every ounce of rage, you'll understand. The mirror never lied. You were just too afraid to see the truth. So, are you ready to face it? Are you ready to strip away the lies and stand naked in your own chaos? The mirror won't beg, it won't flatter, it won't forgive, it will only reveal. And if you're strong enough to stare long enough to stop blinking, to stop running, the mirror will hand you the one thing society never will: power. Real, unfiltered, dangerous power. You don't fit in their little box. That makes you radioactive, dangerous, untouchable. The system survives by stacking people neatly like files in a drawer, all labeled, all numbered, all predictable. But you don't fit. You spill out of their categories, you break the mold. And the moment they realize they can't label you, they fear you. Because what they can't categorize, they can't control. The machine feeds on obedience. Every law, every rule, every unspoken command is designed to keep you docile. Smile at your boss, pay your taxes, sit quietly in traffic, work, eat, sleep, repeat. They built the loop and they pray you never step outside it, because one person who refuses to bend exposes the whole lie. One virus in the program corrupts the entire system. And here's the truth. They don't want you to hear. Control only works if you agree to it. The cage is unlocked, but they trick you into staying inside. They whisper fear into your ears. Don't quit. Don't fight. Don't dream too big. Don't stand out. They condition you to obey, to shrink, to doubt. But when you finally say no, when you laugh in their faces, that's when you become something else. They call it rebellion. They call it madness. They'll call you every name they can invent. But deep down, they know what you really are. Proof that their system isn't perfect. Proof that their control isn't absolute. And nothing terrifies them more than someone who doesn't need permission to exist. You become a glitch, a ghost, a fire they can't put out. So you stand there, untamed, unbent, unbroken. And suddenly the chains fall away because they were only in your head. The rules melt because they were never real. The threats lose their teeth because you stop fearing them. That's the thrill, the pure rush of knowing they can't touch you anymore. You're outside their reach, outside their leash, outside their pathetic little world of obedience. You don't fit in their box. Good. Boxes are coffins. And while they bury themselves alive, you'll be out here breathing the air they're too scared to taste. Free, radioactive. A living reminder that the system isn't God, it's just paper walls waiting to burn, and you are the match. Every excuse you feed yourself is a chain you've swallowed. Heavy, rusted, poisoned. You wear it proudly, don't you? I don't have time. Clink. I'm not ready. Clink. It's not my fault. Clink. One by one you build your own prison. Brick by brick, link by link, until you can't even move. And the sickest part? You're the one holding the key, but you'd rather complain than use it. Procrastination is your drug. You get high on tomorrow. You whisper to yourself that you'll start when the stars align, when the pain fades, when the fear disappears. Tomorrow. Always tomorrow. But tomorrow is a graveyard where dreams rot. Tomorrow is the coffin for every fire that could have burned. And while you wait for perfect, the world keeps moving without you. Victimhood is your mask. Easy to wear, easy to blame. The world is cruel, the system unfair, people unkind. And maybe that's true. But whining about it doesn't make you strong. It makes you invisible. No one remembers the victim. They remember the survivor, the fighter, the one who walked through the fire and laughed at the ashes. Excuses don't inspire. Victory does. Fear is the easiest lie of all. What if I fail? What if I lose? What if they laugh at me? Let them laugh. Let them doubt. Every failure is a scar that proves you moved. You fought. You lived. Stagnation leaves no scars. It leaves nothing. A blank life. A quiet death. Movement is messy, bloody, humiliating, but it's real. And real is the only thing worth dying for. Stop pretending excuses protect you. They don't? They bury you alive while whispering lullabies. They keep you comfortable while draining your fire drop by drop. Burn them. Every single one. Watch them turn to smoke and choke the air you used to breathe. Because once they're gone, you'll feel something you haven't felt in years. Space, power, freedom. Failure isn't your enemy. Stillness is. Falling isn't death. Never leaping is. The moment you stop feeding yourself those rotten excuses, you'll feel it. The weight lift, the chains shatter, the fire roar back to life, and you'll finally see the truth. You were never weak. You were just addicted to your own lies. Fear isn't the cage, it's the gasoline. Most people don't get that. They clutch their fear like it's a monster under the bed, hiding, trembling, begging it to go away. But fear doesn't vanish. Fear waits. It sits inside your chest like a ticking bomb. And while the world runs from it, the ones who learn to light it become unstoppable. They don't run from fire, they burn with it. Fear paralyzes the weak. It freezes them at the edge of the cliff, staring down, heart pounding, unable to leap. They'd rather die safe than risk living loud. They confuse comfort with life, silence with peace. But comfort is decay, peace is rot, and all the while their fear laughs at them, because fear is not their enemy, it's their unused engine. Redefine it. Feel it. That trembling, that's power screaming inside you. That weight on your chest, that's proof you're standing where transformation happens. Fear is a compass. It points directly to the places where growth hides. If it doesn't scare you, it won't change you. If it doesn't burn, it won't forge you. Walk into it, and you'll come out the other side, carved into something new. The world bows to those who walk through fear. Not the fearless, they're fools. The ones who were terrified but did it anyway. The ones who heard their heart cracking, their breath breaking, their knees shaking, and still kept moving. That's power. That's dominance. That's the kind of courage that makes people follow. Not because they're told to, but because they feel it in their bones. You think fear means stop. Wrong. Fear means go. Fear means you're alive. Fear means you've found the gate no one else has the guts to walk through. You either run away like the rest, or you run straight into it, teeth bared, laughing while it tries to break you. And when you come out the other side, untouched, unshaken, unbowed, they'll kneel, because you became what they're too scared to even imagine. So pour the gasoline. Strike the match. Let fear set you on fire instead of caging you in shadows. Let it roar in your lungs, in your veins, in your heart, until every step you take rattles the earth. Fear isn't here to chain you. It's here to ignite you. And when you learn that, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. The rage you bury is the voice they're most afraid of. You swallow it. Day after day. Year after year. You smile when you want to scream. You bow your head when you want to bite. And that poison builds. It festers in your chest like a corpse you pretend isn't there. But rage never dies, it waits. It rots you from the inside until you either collapse or explode. They told you rage is ugly, that anger makes you weak. That silence is noble, respectable, civilized. Lies, all of it. They don't want you calm because it's right. They want you calm because it's easy. A quiet slave is easier to control than a furious king. They want your rage buried, suffocated, forgotten, because they know once it's unleashed, they can't cage it again. You think your rage is your enemy? Wrong. Your rage is your battery. It's the thunder in your blood, the fire in your breath, the hurricane under your ribs. Rage is pure energy, raw and unfiltered. It only destroys you when you let it rot inside. Release it, and it becomes a weapon. Focus it, and it becomes fuel. Point it, and it becomes transformation. Every injustice you swallowed, every insult you bit back, every time you told yourself, don't make a scene, all of it sits there, waiting. That's not weakness, that's stored power, payback disguised as patience. They wanted you quiet, but silence is over. The voice they fear most is about to rise, louder than their lies, sharper than their rules, heavier than their chains. Look around. Men and women everywhere have been swallowing rage their whole lives, chewed up, spit out, overlooked, undervalued, told to shut up and take it. But what happens when they don't? What happens when the buried voices scream in unison? That's not noise, that's war. That's the sound of walls cracking, of thrones shaking, of rulers sweating. So stop apologizing for your anger. Stop disguising it. Stop hiding it under politeness and fake smiles. Break the silence. Let it roar. Let it remind the world you've had enough. Because rage is not your downfall, it's your resurrection. And once you unleash it, the ones who tried to bury you will finally understand. They never buried a victim. They buried a weapon, and now it's coming for them. They call it madness. You call it vision they'll never understand. That's how it always works, isn't it? The herd sees something it doesn't recognize, and it trembles. They whisper, crazy, unstable, insane. But what they really mean is this: you're different. You're bold enough to go where they're too timid to step. And difference is dangerous. Difference is radioactive. They don't fear madness. They fear courage. They fear the one who doesn't need their approval. The one who laughs at their rules, dances on their traditions, spits on their expectations. They call it reckless, self-destructive, delusional, but in the end they'll copy it. They always do. First they laugh at you, then they fear you, then they try to become you. Madness is just vision dressed in clothes too sharp for their eyes. Eccentricity is the mask of freedom. Unpredictability is the language of power. Intensity is the mark of someone alive while the rest are already dead. Blend in and you vanish. Stand out and you haunt them. They stare because they can't control what they can't categorize. They don't know whether to admire you or destroy you. That confusion, that's your weapon. Madness is refusing to shrink when the world orders you small. It's refusing to play nice when the rules are written to choke you. It's refusing to walk in circles when you were born to walk off cliffs and build wings on the way down. They think that's insanity. You know it's the only way to live without dying before your last breath. Do you see it now? The world doesn't change because of the polite, the obedient, the silent. The world shifts because of those they call unstable, because of the ones who don't fit, don't bow, don't shut up. The so-called mad are the ones who tear the script, who rip the leash, who remind the world that sanity is just another word for submission. So let them laugh, let them point, let them whisper that you're insane. Because when the dust clears, when their order collapses, when their certainties shatter, they'll realize the truth. Madness wasn't your curse, it was your crown. And while they crawled in circles, you walked straight into chaos and claimed it as your throne. The station isn't brick and bars, it's their rules. You are the jailbreak. The police station isn't a building. It's the world they built to control you. It's the laws they carved into your skin. It's the ceilings they swore you'd never break. Every desk, every badge, every lock, just symbols of obedience. But symbols don't scare you anymore. You've become the one thing their entire system can't handle: unpredictable freedom. They thought they could file you away like a case number. Another body to keep in line, another voice to silence, another soul to process and discard. But you didn't just slip out of their grip. You shattered the hand that tried to hold you. You didn't escape the station. You became the riot inside it. Sirens can't stop you. Bars can't hold you. Once the station realizes you're not in their custody anymore, you're in their nightmares. You were the victim once. Shackled, mocked, told when to sit, when to speak, when to exist. But something broke, something shifted. You stopped obeying. You stopped apologizing. And the second you did, you transformed from prisoner to outlaw. And outlaws, they don't ask for mercy. They don't beg for acceptance. They build their own law in the ashes of the old one. But here's the twist. They can't catch you now. You're not playing their game anymore. You're not in their system. You're outside the map, beyond their walls, untouchable. And that makes you more than an outlaw. That makes you legend. Legends don't answer to rules. Legends don't fit in files. Legends haunt the corridors of power, reminding the keepers of order that they will never be safe again. The police station, the control system, wasn't built to contain someone like you. It was built for the obedient, for the silent, for the predictable. But you're none of those things anymore. You're the virus in their database, the shadow in their spotlight, the laugh echoing down their corridors when they thought they had won. You are proof that their walls are made of paper. So when you stand there, unshackled, grinning, untamed, remember this. You didn't just walk out of the cell. You burned the station down on your way out. And now the entire system trembles at your footsteps because you're not their prisoner. You're their greatest threat, and you'll never let them forget it. So this is it, huh? The end. The curtain call. But you know what's funny? This isn't an ending at all. It's a beginning wrapped in smoke and broken glass. They wanted to bury you, but all they did was plant a bomb. And now, tick, 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 you're seconds away from detonation. Look at you. You've swallowed the rage. You've burned the excuses. You've turned fear into fire. They can't file you anymore. Can't tame you, can't chain you. You're not in their little system. You're above it, around it, inside it, tearing it apart from the walls to the foundation. Oh, and doesn't it feel good to finally be the danger they whispered about? They'll call you mad. They'll call you a monster. They'll call you the threat, and you'll smile. Because monsters don't kneel. Threats don't beg. Madness doesn't bow. You don't fit in their world anymore. You break their world just by breathing in it. And deep down, they know they'll never be safe again. So laugh. Laugh loud enough for the walls to crack. Laugh until their order shakes. Laugh until the chains snap in every throat that still thinks obedience is survival. Because your laugh is proof. You won. You turned their leash into your weapon. You turned their cage into your stage. And now the world is forced to watch you burn. Remember this. You weren't born to blend in. You weren't born to play nice. You weren't born to die silent in a system that never wanted you alive. You were born to be the riot, the fire, the crack in their perfect little glass, the chaos they never accounted for, the living reminder that their control was always an illusion. Ha! Oh, can't you hear it? The panic in their footsteps, the fear in their silence, the collapse of their order echoing in the distance. You're not their prisoner. You're not their victim. You're the story they'll tell in whispers for years to come. The nightmare in their daylight, the legend in their ruins, the threat they'll never kill. And that's the funniest joke of all.